A devil in name only, the Tasmanian devil. Subscribe and ring the bell for more videos. Understanding an astounding animal who has been saddled with a name it doesn't deserve. While the actual Tasmanian devil bears little resemblance to the famous cartoon character, the two do have one thing in common. Real Tasmanian devils also easily break into fits of anger, and while there aren't any whirling dust clouds, their bad moods are characterized by growls, snarls and the baring teeth. These outbreaks of temper can have many causes, including feeling threatened or trying to defend food. Did we mention they were relatable? The Tasmanian devil, indigenous to Tasmania, is believed to have once also lived on the Australian mainland, before being hunted to extinction. Their name was given to them by European settlers thanks to their high-pitched cry, although the literal translation of their scientific name, Sarcophilus harrissii, is the less terrifying harris meat lover. Meat lover is a pretty accurate name. These guys are one of the world's most efficient eaters. The devil's diet consists primarily of small prey, such as snakes and rodents, and they can eat 40% of their own body weight. You won't find many leftovers once the Tasmanian devil is finished with a meal. Unlike other animals, they don't just consume the meat, they will also eat the hair, the organs, even the bones. When European settlers first encountered the Tasmanian devil, they considered it best. The devils were hunted to near extinction until measures were taken in 1941 to protect them. This restored the population until 1996, when a new and deadlier threat emerged. The declining population of the Tasmanian devil can now be placed squarely on a single cause: devil facial tumor disease, DFTD. DFTD is a form of cancer, easily identifiable by large growths on their head and around their mouth. This generally makes it difficult for them to feed, and therefore they become weak and usually die within 3–6 months. Since the disease was identified in the early 1990s, the Tasmanian devil population has declined by 80%. While DFTD is the main problem causing the decline of the Tasmanian devil, it heightens the other problems facing them. The dwindling populations has greatly increased the occurrences of inbreeding and increased competition for food. While there is currently no cure for DFTD, there is still hope for the devils. In 2003, the Tasmanian and Australian governments launched the Save the Tasmanian Devil program. Save the Tasmanian Devil program has adopted a system of captive management, where Tasmanian devils that aren't infected with DFTD are moved to isolated locations to prevent the spread. These include Maria Island, which was set up as a sanctuary. It enables a safe haven for the Tasmanian devil to recover. The population of the island was 103 when they checked in 2018, and they've had 5 successive breeding sessions. The Tasmanian devil is a carnivorous marsupial of the family Harrissii. It was once native to mainland Australia and is now found in the wild only on the island state of Tasmania, including tiny east coast Maria Island, where there is a conservation project with disease-free animals. The size of a small dog, the Tasmanian devil became the largest carnivorous marsupial in the world following the extinction of the thylacine in 1936. It is related to growls and distantly related to the thylacine. It is characterized by its stocky and muscular build, black fur, pungent odor, extremely loud and disturbing screech, keen sense of smell, and ferocity when feeding. The Tasmanian devil's large head and neck allow it to generate among the strongest bites per unit body mass of any extant predatory land mammal, and it hunts prey and scavenges carrion as well as eating household products if humans are living nearby. Although it is usually solitary, it sometimes eats with other devils and defecates in a communal location. Unlike most other dasyurids, the devil thermogulates effectively and is active during the middle of the day without overheating. Despite its rotund appearance, the devil is capable of surprising speed and endurance, and can climb trees and swim across rivers. It is believed that ancient marsupials migrated from what is now South America to Australia tens of millions of years ago during the time of Gondwana, 456, and that they evolved as Australia became more arid. Fossils of species similar to modern devils have been found, but it is not known whether they were ancestors of the contemporary species, or whether the current devils coexisted with these species. The date that the Tasmanian devil became locally extinct from the Australian mainland is unclear. Most evidence suggests they had contracted to 3 relict populations around 3,000 years ago. A tooth found in Augusta, Western Australia has been dated to 430 years ago, But archaeologist Oliver Brown disputes this and considers the devil's mainland extinction to have occurred around 3,000 years ago. This disappearance is usually blamed on dingoes, which are absent from Tasmania. Devils were hunted and became endangered in Tasmania because they were seen as a threat to livestock and animals that humans hunted for fur. In 1941, the devils, which were originally seen as implacably vicious, became officially protected. Since then, scientists have contended that earlier concerns that the devils were the most significant threat to livestock were overestimated and misplaced. Devils are not monogamous, and their reproductive process is very robust and competitive. Males fight one another for the females, and then guard their partners to prevent female infidelity. Females can ovulate 3 times in as many weeks during the mating season, and 80% of 2-year-old females are seen to be pregnant during the annual mating season. Females average 4 breeding seasons in their life and give birth to 20 to 30 live young after 3 weeks gestation. The newborn are pink, lack fur, have indistinct facial features and weigh around 0.20 grams, 0.0071 ounces, at birth. As there are only 4 nipples in the pouch, competition is fierce and few newborns survive. The young grow rapidly and are ejected from the pouch after around 100 days, weighing roughly 200 grams, 7.1 ounces. The young become independent after around 9 months, so the female spends most of her year in activities related to birth and rearing. Since the late 1990s, the devil facial tumor disease, DFTD, has drastically reduced the devil population and now threatens the survival of the species, which in 2008 was declared to be endangered. Programs are currently being undertaken by the Government of Tasmania to reduce the impact of the disease, including an initiative to build up a group of healthy devils in captivity, isolated from the disease. While the thylacine was extant, it preyed on the devil, which targeted young and unattended thylacine cubs in their dens. Localized populations of devils have also been severely reduced by collisions with motor vehicles, particularly when they are eating roadkill. The devil is an iconic symbol of Tasmania, and many organizations, groups and products associated with the state use the animal in their logos. It is seen as an important attractor of tourists to Tasmania and has come to worldwide attention through the Looney Tunes character of the same name. Starting in 2013, Tasmanian devils are again being sent to zoos around the world as part of the Australian government's Save the Tasmanian Devil program. The Tasmanian devil's genome was sequenced in 2010 by the Wellcome Trust Sanger Institute. Like all dasyurids, the devil has 14 chromosomes. Devils have a low genetic diversity compared to other Australian marsupials and placental carnivores. This is consistent with the founder effect, as allelic size ranges were low and nearly continuous throughout all subpopulations measured. Allelic diversity was measured at 2.7 to 3.3 in the subpopulations sampled, and heterozygosity was in the range 0.386 to 0.467. 33. According to a study by Minna Jones, gene flow appears extensive up to 50 kilometers, 31 miles, meaning a high assignment rate to source or close neighbor populations in agreement with movement data. At larger scales, 150 to 250 kilometers or 90 to 200 miles, gene flow is reduced, but there is no evidence for isolation by distance. Island effects may also have contributed to their low genetic diversity. Periods of low population density may also have created moderate population bottlenecks, reducing genetic diversity. Low genetic diversity is thought to have been a feature in the Tasmanian devil population since the mid-Holocene. Outbreaks of devil facial tumor disease, DFTD, cause an increase in inbreeding. A subpopulation of devils in the northwest of the state is genetically distinct from other devils, but there is some exchange between the two groups. One-strand conformation polymorphism analysis, OSCP, on the major histocompatibility complex, MHC, class I domain taken from various locations across Tasmania showed 25 different types, and showed a different pattern of MHC types in northwestern Tasmania to eastern Tasmania. Those devils in the east of the state have less MHC diversity, 30% are of the same type as the tumor, type 1, and 24% are of type A. 7 of every 10 devils in the east are of type A, D, G or 1, which are linked to DFTD, whereas only 55% of the western devils fall into these MHC categories. Of the 25 MHC types, 40% are exclusive to the western devils. Although the northwest population is less genetically diverse overall, it has higher MHC gene diversity, which allows them to mount an immune response to DFTD. According to this research, mixing the devils may increase the chance of disease. Of the 15 different regions in Tasmania surveyed in this research, 6 were in the eastern half of the island. In the eastern half, Epping Forest had only 2 different types, 75% being type O. In the Buckland-Nugent area, only 3 types were present, and there were an average of 5.33 different types per location. In contrast, in the west, Cape Sorrel yielded 3 types, and Togari North Christmas Hills yielded 6, but the other 7 sites all had at least 8 MHC types, and West Pencil Pine had 15 types. There was an average of 10.11 MHC types per site in the west. Recent research has suggested that the wild population of devils are rapidly evolving a resistance to DFTD. Devils are found in all habitats on the island of Tasmania, including the outskirts of urban areas, and are distributed throughout the Tasmanian mainland and on Robbins Island, which is connected to mainland Tasmania at low tide. 60. The northwestern population is located west of the Forth River and as far south as Macquarie Heads. 1. Previously, they were present on Bruny Island from the 19th century, but there have been no records of them after 1900. 1. And they were introduced to Badger Island in the mid-1990s but are thought to have died out by 2005. 36. A study has modeled the reintroduction of DFTD-free Tasmanian devils to the mainland in areas where dingoes are sparse. It is proposed that devils would have fewer impacts on both livestock and native fauna than dingoes, and that the mainland population could act as an additional insurance population. 61. In September 2015, 20 immunized captive-bred devils were released into Narromtapu National Park, Tasmania. 2 later died from being hit by cars. The core habitat of the devils is considered to be within the low to moderate annual rainfall zone of eastern and northwestern Tasmania. Tasmanian devils particularly like dry sclerophyll forests and coastal woodlands. Although they are not found at the highest altitudes of Tasmania, and their population density is low in the button grass plains in the southwest of the state, their population is high in dry or mixed sclerophyll forests and coastal heaths. Devils prefer open forest to tall forest, and dry rather than wet forests. They are also found near roads where road kill is prevalent, although the devils themselves are often killed by vehicles while retrieving the carrion. According to the Threatened Species Scientific Committee, their versatility means that habitat modification from destruction is not seen as a major threat to the species. The devil is directly linked to the Dasyurotania robusta, a tapeworm which is classified as rare under the Tasmanian Threatened Species Protection Act 1995. This tapeworm is found only in devils.